You know, I was struck by the diversity. I sat in the finance panel in the afternoon, and there was an amazing group of people. You know, there was a gentleman, brother, Shakeen Ahmed, who was a PhD in computer science. I'm not sure if Shakeen is here. There he is. And, you know, he described his story of how he went from being what I'm sure was a very brilliant computer scientist graduate student to being a brilliant derivatives trader at Morgan Stanley in Citigroup. And I'm sure that he felt a certain level of risk when he decided to walk away from years of research at Yale and a level of comfort I'm sure he must have felt knowing his field to a completely strange world of banking, right? And I'll challenge you that you look at any successful professional and you go back and look at his or her career, you'll find a few inflection points, a few points in their career where they actually reached out, maybe out, stretched out a little too far out from the comfort zone, and in most cases came up ahead. In fact, I cannot think of an example of a professional who tried something, who took a bit of a calculated risk, who had a catastrophic failure. I just can't think of any. So don't be shy about, or don't be afraid of trying things that you feel excite you and things that are new. There will be a lot of people who discourage you from doing that. So there will be naysayers. We heard about that in our panels as well. Believe in your. Sometimes you have to use your head. Sometimes you have to use your heart. And I say use both, not just one. So we talked about having the basic excellence in your functional skills. That was the first thing. Second thing we talked about is the need to be flexible so that you can adapt to the changing requirements of the job market. And then we talked about risk. Let me now talk about another thing that came up on a very consistent basis, and I think it's a very, very important thing. And that has to do with the need to have a mentor and a network. I cannot think of any successful person I work with, and I've had the occasion to work with very senior executives and CEOs in my career at McKinsey and in other places. And to a person, I can identify a person, a mentor, that they hitched their wagon to. Okay? As much as you bet on your own skills, you also have to bet on the success of a set of individuals in your organization and believe that as they grow, as they move up in the organization, you move up with them. It's not about riding the coattails. It is really about a partnership that you build with your boss, your mentor, or whoever, to really, you help that person helps you move up in the organization. And again, I cannot think of anybody that I know was successful who didn't have that partnership or that relationship with somebody. And of course, it takes time. You have to earn it. It's not because that person likes you, or he happens to be of the same religion or the same ethnicity, or somebody who went to the same school. That's not it. It is about that person believing that you will help that person be successful in his or her job, that he or she will take you under his mentorship. So be very, very persistent in looking for the right mentor. You're going to try a few individuals, it may not work out, but keep looking. And same thing goes with the network. We're here today as part of the networking exercise. As I said earlier, I'm amazed by the diversity of talent and the level of achievement that this group here represents. This is a network that you should be part of. But there are other networks. You all went to good schools and good colleges. There are alumni networks. You work with some great companies who have their own networks. You may have your friends and family network. Do not be shy in tapping into that network, because it does help. In fact, I'll tell you, there is an expectation in corporate America that you have a network. As you move up the organization, when they look at you in terms of whether you should be hired, one of the things they ask is, what does he or she bring to this organization? Who all does this person know? What all does this person do? Right? So it is a requirement that you actively seek to build a network that you're part of. And it doesn't matter whether you are aspiring to be a CEO or a technologist or whatever. So that gets me to the final point, the final theme that we talked as a group, and also I personally believe is very important. And that is to have what I call an aspirational view of your career. It doesn't have to be that you have to aspire to be a billionaire. It doesn't have to be that you have to aspire to be the CEO of a Fortune 50 company. But you have to have aspirations. Ask yourself this question: do you at night or in the morning, every once in a while a week, imagine being something that you're not today? Are you feeling challenged in your work today, or in your job today? It's very easy, no matter what career you're in, what profession you're in. You get out of college, you're learning a lot in the first 2 years, 3 years, and then you get into a point where you're very comfortable. You've figured out what it takes to do well, to get to the next level, and not to get fired or whatever, right? Well, that's not good enough. That's just not good enough. If all you want is to retain your job, then it will burn you out eventually. You will get to be, whatever age, pick an age where you become more vulnerable because you're making more money than your employer wants to pay you. Your skills have become stale. Somebody can hire somebody who's 20 years younger than you and makes half the money. That's a very tough position to be in. And a lot of people find themselves in because they lose the fire in the belly that they had when they graduated. Or they lose the passion, they lose the aspiration. So it's a broad point I'm trying to make, and I use the word aspirations, but you ought to equate that to things like ambition, passion, excitement. And if you don't feel that in your job, maybe it's time for you to go do something else. Okay? Whatever it is, it could be that, I've talked to people today who have made dramatic changes in their careers. Sister Maha earlier was talking about how she made a change in her life.